Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Brendan, and in today's video, we'll be covering the final update video for Phase 1. Let's talk about it. This is now the third update video for the program. I'm doing the online part-time UX UI program. The first update video we covered weeks 1 and 2. The second we covered weeks 3 and 4, and in this one we're covering weeks 5 and 6, which concludes Phase 1 of the 5 phases throughout the entire program. In week 5, we covered UI design. We had 2 assignments. Up until this point in the program, we've finished out a medium fidelity prototype, which we've designed in Sketch and we've built within InVision. What I'm doing in week 5 is taking the medium fidelity prototype and making it a high fidelity mock-up, and then from there, we'll take revisions from our instructor and we'll build out a prototype, obviously high fidelity, and we'll make those adjustments, and this is what we're going to be using for week 6. In this video, we'll be taking a look at my high fidelity prototype, so let's take a look at that. Hey everyone, let's take a look at my high fidelity prototype. So I've been working on this travel app for the last 5-6 weeks now, and the goal of the app is to basically solve the problems of our users, and then we're going to do usability testing, which I've done obviously, and we'll talk about in the next assignment, just to solve those problems, see how people use the app. And what I had to do is create one specific case for how they would use the app. In this case, what I did initially, I actually did surfing lessons in Napoli. I changed it up, and now you're going to buy tickets to a soccer game in Napoli. So this is the loading screen. You'll only see it for the first few seconds, and then it will load the main page. Now the main page here is what you'll see when the app loads. Now you can do various different things if this was a real app, but they're going to be going to Napoli. In this case, what I did is I made a screen, so if you search Napoli, it will show up, and then you just click it twice. This is the main page for Napoli. This is not a very good header. I didn't have a whole lot of time to fix it, but that would be something that I would do here once I make it a portfolio piece. Now, this is where they're going to end up going, but I created various screens if you want to, pick your date. So in this case, it was the 28th through the 6th, and then you save. The idea is to give them some sort of a weather forecast. This was a problem that we were trying to solve, and then maybe they want to see top activities to do in Napoli. Here are the options. We also have a sort by, and you can sort by rating, and here they're going to be going to a Napoli game. The game, which is today, is the Bologna-Napoli game, and then they would choose how many tickets they want and what their budget is. So imagine they click 2 tickets, and then they click the budget. It's a slider, but in this case it's a prototype, so I can't make it fully functioning. Should have fixed that, but this would be the idea. Then they would pick their tickets based on the rating, and the rating is the price based on where they're located. And this is our recommended one that you would choose. So you would choose here. Could have made this a little more flashy. You just make the payment, and from there you would get this screen where you can invite friends. And in this case, you would just select contacts, which would then open it up. So this is the app that I've been building. In the next video here, we're going to be talking about how I use this app to do some user testing. In week 6, we covered user testing and iteration. We had 2 assignments for the week. First, we had to create a test plan, which our instructor made a template for, which made this very easy for us to build. And then we had to take that test plan and do 3 user interviews, and then summarize those findings within a slideshow, which is what I'll be covering in this video. So let's take a look at my findings. Hey guys, now we're going to talk about my findings that I found from my usability testing. I did say that I would show you what the template was that our teacher basically created. So these were the participants I had for my testing. Some of the answers that I wrote I didn't actually put here, but I filled these out. I had recordings so I could listen to their answers, and the goal was to summarize my findings for the interviews. That was the final assignment. So the testing goal the primary goal was seeing if the participant could successfully purchase tickets to a soccer match in Italy, the Napoli game. And then these were my participants, different friends of mine that did the interviews. And then here were the user scenario and tasks. You and a significant other excited to try this new app, Bon Voyage, to buy tickets to a game on 12/1 at 6 o'clock. And then here are the other things that I wanted them to try to do. So here were my findings. It's limited, but it does help to see some statistics, and this is important within the assignment. 100% were able to buy Napoli tickets and text a friend, and then 2 or 3 were able to find the weather forecast. This is a goal we were trying to solve. And then here is another finding I found. The stadium map was challenging to read and understand. This was a screenshot. I had a little time to do the assignment, so I did a screenshot, and I should have made it myself. It would have been a much better, it would have been just much better overall. And then on the right here, getting a weather forecast was easily overlooked in the interview where they missed it, but valuable for the other 2, which, if you remember, you just click the dates, and then you would enter in the dates, and it would let you know what the weather would be like for the time that you're visiting. And then here were some quotes that I got from the interviews. Here were some high fidelity. I had to do a high fidelity, medium fidelity, and low fidelity recommendation. So this one, I got a feedback from my friend Jake, who basically just said that this needs to be a little bit more visual. It looks too much like a receipt. So this should be something you might see after you purchase, not before, which I totally agree. The medium fidelity. The rating system, this thumbs up, they basically said it was a little confusing. They'd like to see a specific number of reviews, and also seeing like peak times when to visit would be something that would be helpful. And then low fidelity, I mentioned that Gabby said that she likes the homepage, but it did feel a little bit cluttered, so maybe giving less options up front or making these separate pages would be helpful. And that's the end of my findings, and that's essentially what I had to summarize for the assignment. Thank you so much for watching the video. In next week's video, I actually have an announcement to make, so make sure to check back in. If you're finding this content valuable, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave any questions that you have in the comments section. Look forward to talking to you next week. Have a good one.